I got into video gaming because of like other like physical games I had. Like games have always been around me, from like Monopoly to Beyblade to like Pac-Man. So I guess it was just like a slow, gradual build into games. Probably since I was like, I think 3 or 4. My main gaming came from another toy that my dad got was just like a console thing where you could plug it into the TV and you can play from there. But it came with like loads of other games in it. So I had a Pac-Man one, like all the retro arcade games with the joystick ones.
I got into video gaming through my ex-boyfriend who I met about 5 years ago. He had a really good, like completely up to spec gaming computer, high-speed gaming computer. So he slowly introduced me to, like started me off on Civ 6, Civ 5, even it would have been back then. Or was it even Civ 4? Well, I started off on Sims 2, I think, when I was 12 years old maybe. So I had been playing computer games for a while before I met said boyfriend, but then I got into computer games like heavily about 5 years ago when I met him.
Driving games are the games I like the most. I am alright at platformers. Platformers are okay. I try to span out as much as possible, but I stayed at GTA for a lot of the time because it has both driving and shooting. Really
into story-driven games, RPG. I love The Witcher 3 is what I was playing through when I last had access to a gaming computer, and I really, really love like heavy story-driven games, lots of cutscenes, that kind of stuff. Oh, and strategy games, grand strategy games like Civ.
A chance to get another life in a sense. So in each game, you're a different person in a sense. You may have the same gaming tag or like the same name, but you're different every time. And then you have to learn a whole new mechanic of life. And it's a good way to escape. Like there's been times where like you're really angry and you get on a game, and then yeah, sometimes you'll get angrier, but there's other times where you come out like perfectly happy because you won or something. But like it's just a way to escape the boring life if you have.
It is definitely a form of escapism for me. It allows me to go into different worlds, and if I'm in the mood, you know, shoot a bunch of zombies to death, so I feel a bit stress relief. But mainly sort of just allows me to go off into the fantasy world where I can just forget all my stresses for a while, forget about my deadlines, forget about, you know, everyday stress, and just absorb myself in something completely different.
I would say my gaming community experience has been limited, mainly because like I haven't really been to much like cons. From what I have been there, there's like it's really nice. Like there's people who have played your games or are more experienced at your games or haven't played your game, and you can like connect to them more.
It's been mixed. I mainly interact with queer gamers through the London gaming group. They're like the Bristol Gamers, but based in London, and they're a very, very large group. But playing games online, I tend to come across, you know, trolls, essentially, which is not nice at all. And even watching my ex-boyfriend playing Overwatch, like the amount of idiots you just get trolling people on games and attacking, I find women in particular, saying, oh, you're rubbish, you can't play games, you can't shoot because you're a girl, all that kind of stuff. So it's been very, very mixed, but yeah, mixed is definitely the best word for it.
Represented in games, there's a few characters that are a bit like me. But I guess it's the way you take it. Like you can go into some fighting games and find someone completely like you and looks, but it's more, I don't know how to explain it, it's a bit different than that. I do feel like I get represented, but in like different ways.
I don't feel at all represented in gaming. As a queer woman, I don't feel like there's many bisexual characters out there. I feel like they're beginning to come in a bit more, but if they do, they tend to be, you know, gay or lesbian rather than bisexual. So I do feel like that is something that needs to be represented more in gaming. I feel accepted in the queer gaming circles, but not really much experience outside of the queer gaming circles, to be honest.
More anime games, because there's a huge community that love anime. Most people I know who like play games love anime, and there's very like few anime games like at least that I can see. Like a lot of them are just like kind of hidden or something.
I'd definitely like to see more LGBT representation. Yeah, I think more trans characters would be great, more non-binary characters and more bisexual characters, because, you know, there's so many queer gamers, LGBT gamers, and they're just not represented, and that must be quite isolating for a lot of people to not be represented in gaming. But it's very slow progress considering how long computer games have been around for now. You know, it's sort of, I get that there's sort of a sexual identity revolution going on at the moment, but it seems to need a lot more improvement within game design to sort of get more LGBT characters going.